Breaking news coming out. Mysterious pneumonia outbreak has emerged in the United States. Now, this is days after we had seen similar illnesses reported in China. And then just yesterday, I let you know that we'd received word that China had said that they had this under control, that it was nothing to be alarmed of, that it was just simply because they had removed some of their restrictions. And now this was infecting a lot of small children. But then just yesterday, I let you know that we had heard that this was actually reported in the Netherlands, in India, Taiwan, and Vietnam were concerned, and now today, breaking news coming out that this is taking place in the United States. And articles linked in the description below. As you know, I cite all the sources for you. This all just coming out today. Mysterious pneumonia outbreak emerges in the United States days after similar illnesses reported in China. Here's another one coming out that says Ohio is now the first state to report what they're calling the white lung syndrome outbreak. A mysterious outbreak of pneumonia has hit several parts of China, and now Ohio is the first American location to report an outbreak of illnesses with an extremely high number of children being hospitalized. Also coming out today, now Massachusetts says it is being hit by a mysterious wave of pneumonia in children, and they're also calling it the white lung outbreak, also being reported in Ohio, after China and Europe saw a surge in cases and hospitalizations. And as I mentioned, this came as yesterday. I shared with you, there was a map showing countries where pneumonia cases are rising after the China outbreak. And a lot of people are very concerned about this, because we had received reports from China that this was simply local. It was an epidemic. It was just their area. It should not spread. And it was because of the lifting of their restrictions. However, we're seeing the exact same thing now in India, which has not had those restrictions. And we're also seeing it in the Netherlands, which has not had restrictions either. So this is very concerning to a lot of people. And we had heard, I let you know yesterday, keep an eye on Europe, because whatever happens in Europe typically ends up happening in the United States a couple months later. That was the pattern that we had saw during the pandemic. However, now we're hearing the cases, they are already here. And I heard a lot of people on the live yesterday mention this. It's already here. And for those of you that said it, you were right.
Well, here we go again. Getting really sick and tired of this. All right, so Ohio's white lung pandemic, fears of China-like outbreak gripping the nation. So supposedly Ohio is facing a concerning surge in pediatric pneumonia cases termed white lung syndrome. It is the first U.S. state to report an outbreak resembling the situation in China. Oh, how lovely. So-called health officials express worry about a potential winter outbreak. They love doing that, don't they? Akin to the one overwhelming Chinese hospitals. Is anyone else getting the 2019-2020 vibe with the election coming next year? And now we have this pneumonia outbreak surging through China, going through the Netherlands, and now it's in Ohio, supposedly. I also find it interesting how the first state here in America with this white lung pneumonia is also the same state that had this issue in February in a city called Palestine. I'm sure it's all just a coincidence. Everything's fine, guys. But with that, no matter what happens, you cannot control the outcomes of world events, but what you can control is your mind. What's going on up here? And you want to make sure that this mind is being renewed by this right here.